What if I told you that Stranger Things wasn't entirely science fiction? That beneath a quiet town in Long Island, New York, the US government ran secret experiments on children, tried to open portals to other dimensions, built mind control machines, and erased memories to cover it all up. Sounds like a conspiracy theory, right? Well, welcome to the Montauk Project. Because what started as rumors has grown into one of the most bizarre, terrifying, and strangely believable stories in American underground lore. And today we're digging into the facts, the fiction, and the secrets they never wanted you to know. The Montauk Project is rooted in two key locations: Montauk, New York, specifically Camp Hero, a decommissioned Air Force base, and Project Phoenix, a rumored successor to the infamous Philadelphia experiment. Now, hold on, let's rewind. The Philadelphia experiment was an alleged 1943 Navy test where a US warship, the USS Eldridge, was said to have been rendered invisible and teleported. The story was later dismissed by the Navy as a hoax. But in the 1980s, a man named Preston Nichols came forward with shocking claims. He said the Philadelphia experiment didn't stop, it evolved, and it moved to Montauk. According to Nichols, who claimed to be a scientist with recovered memories, the US government used Camp Hero as the site for a massive top-secret operation. And the list of what they allegedly did is wild. Psychological warfare experiments on children, remote viewing and telepathy training, mind control research using frequency manipulation, time travel portals using something called the Montauk Chair, and even alleged contact with extraterrestrials. Nichols, along with a man named Al Bielek, claimed they were part of a program that experimented on hundreds of Montauk Boys, often street kids or runaways who wouldn't be missed. These boys were allegedly subjected to trauma-based mind control, psychic programming, and memory wiping. Some were said to have developed telekinetic abilities. Others were supposedly used to open portals to other dimensions, all powered by a psychic amplifier known as the Montauk Chair. If this sounds like Stranger Things, that's because it is. The show's creators, the Duffer Brothers, originally pitched it under the name Montauk. They later changed the setting to Indiana. But the core ideas, a government lab, children with powers, dimension-hopping monsters, are directly inspired by this legend. Let's talk about the tech. The Montauk Chair is described as a piece of equipment designed to enhance psychic abilities using electromagnetic fields. It allegedly allowed gifted individuals to manifest objects, control minds, and even manipulate time and space, just by focusing their thoughts. One subject, referred to as Duncan, was said to be so powerful that when he sat in the chair and concentrated, things literally appeared out of thin air. According to Nichols, Duncan was the most gifted of the Montauk Boys, and in 1983, during a final experiment, he was asked to unleash all his psychic energy. What happened next? Nichols claimed that a monstrous creature materialized, a psychic manifestation of Duncan's fears. It rampaged through the facility, destroying equipment and creating chaos. The only way to stop it? They shut everything down, literally cutting power to the entire base. And after that, the Montauk Project was allegedly buried, dismantled, and classified. Here's where things get tricky. No official documents have ever surfaced confirming the Montauk Project. The US government denies any involvement in psychic experiments at Camp Hero. But there are weird coincidences. Camp Hero was real. It existed. You can visit it today. The radar tower still stands, and it looks eerily like something from Stranger Things. Underground structures exist. Visitors have reported sealed-off tunnels, concrete bunkers, and signs of military infrastructure beneath the park. People tried to investigate, and were stopped. In the early 2000s, journalists and conspiracy researchers who tried to explore the site reported being followed, detained, or denied access by government officials. Some claim watches stopped working near Camp Hero's radar tower. Others report bizarre electrical interference. Preston Nichols claimed he had no recollection of his involvement in the project until he began experiencing dreams, flashbacks, and inexplicable knowledge of advanced technology. Let's pause here. Why do stories like Montauk grip so many people? Because at the core, it taps into something real. We know the government has run classified experiments. We know they've used citizens as test subjects. Think MK Ultra, Operation Midnight Climax, or Tuskegee. We know military technology often outpaces what the public is told. So when a story like Montauk surfaces, combining real locations, real history, and possible conspiracies, it hits differently. It's just plausible enough. Before you dismiss mind control as science fiction, let's talk about MK Ultra, a real CIA project that ran from the 1950s into the 1970s. Declassified documents prove that the US government gave LSD to unsuspecting people, tried to erase and replace memories, experimented with hypnosis, electroshock, and torture, funded secret university labs without disclosure. So the idea that they might have continued experimenting even after MK Ultra was exposed, isn't that crazy? In fact, many believe the Montauk Project was simply MK Ultra's continuation, relocated, renamed, and buried deeper. The Montauk Project has inspired Stranger Things, Netflix's Dark, movies like The Men Who Stare at Goats, and even conspiracy-heavy YouTube rabbit holes. But here's the twist. Every time a show or film pulls from the Montauk story, more people start digging, more strange testimonies surface, more questions are asked, and yet no one provides definitive proof. It's a story that keeps looping, just like the time travel devices it claims to describe. Now let's be fair. Most mainstream historians and scientists consider the Montauk Project to be fiction or delusion. Many of Nichols's claims contradict known science. There are no verifiable victims, no leaked government files, and some believe Nichols fabricated the entire story to sell books. Even the Philadelphia experiment, the story it's based on, has been largely debunked. And yet, the myth endures. Because in the information age, secrecy sparks curiosity. So what's real? Camp Hero is real. The radar tower still emits a low hum. The base has underground levels, many sealed off. The US military has a history of experimenting with human subjects. Stranger Things was originally called Montauk. What isn't confirmed? That children were abducted and programmed, that a time portal was opened, that a psychic creature destroyed the facility. But maybe that's the point, because Montauk isn't just about proof, it's about questions that refuse to go away. In the end, the Montauk Project might be a cautionary tale, or it might be a glimpse behind the curtain. Either way, it's a story about power, secrecy, and belief. A reminder that governments can, and have, hidden things from us. That history is filled with half-truths and buried files, and that sometimes the line between science fiction and science fact is thinner than we'd like to believe. Maybe it was all made up. Maybe it wasn't. But here's what we know for sure. Stranger Things wasn't born in a writer's room. It was born in a rumor, buried beneath a military base, on the far edge of Long Island. And in a world where so much is classified, what if the wildest parts weren't fiction, but disclosure? Thanks for watching DeepMind Daily. If this story fascinated you, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into America's hidden history, secret projects, and underground worlds. Comment below. Do you think the Montauk Project was real, or just a conspiracy turned myth? And if you could sit in the Montauk Chair, would you? Let's keep digging, because the truth is out there, but you've got to go looking for it.